The church and the greater society of the American colonies in the early 18th century were seriously off course and out of step with the God of the Bible. The churches had grown cold and weak. So off course was the church in New England that some were even ordaining ministers who were unconverted. The malaise in the church was mirrored by a culture in which morals were in serious decline. Drunkenness, filthy language, immorality, and every form of vice blossomed as never before in their history. The hopes of their godly Puritan forebears for a heaven on earth in the New World had long since died. But then, beginning in the 1720s, Spirit-filled preachers like Theodore Frelinghuysen, Jonathan Edwards, and later George Whitefield heralded a message of repentance and the lordship of Christ. And the spiritual dam broke, flooding the American landscape with the living water of God. Revival had come to America in what has come to be called the First Great Awakening. Suddenly, the preaching of the gospel took on new power, and thousands began to be converted and fill the churches. The population of America was about 350,000 at that time, so when 25 to 50,000 people were converted, that meant that between 7 and 14% of the entire populace became Christians. So many souls were converted that some thought the millennial reign of Christ was at hand. In the wake of the revival, hundreds of new churches were founded and new colleges were created for the purpose of training preachers. Schools like Dartmouth, Rutgers, and Princeton were birthed during that time. But perhaps the greatest impact was the course correction in the culture that paved the way for the religious and political liberties that would eventually be enshrined a quarter century later in the founding documents of the land of the free and the home of the brave, the United States of America.